guys, what's going on? It's Eli back with another review video, and for this one, gonna be reviewing Looney Tunes Back in Action. Yep, that's right. Looney Tunes Back in Action. You know, I gotta say, this movie, I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's that bad. Basically, I remember because it went through quite a lot when it was being done. Before it was made, it was obviously, there were plans for there to be a Space Jam 2, and after Space Jam was done and it was released, there were plans for a Space Jam 2. In fact, they even wanted, I think, and even I heard because, also, Michael Jordan didn't returning for the film, and even the animators were not told about that because they wanted them to still work, the animation, etc., without them finding out. You get what I'm saying? It was even planned as it was planned for a spy movie, with the Looney Tunes and Jackie Chan. But Jackie Chan, of course, dropped out a little bit later, and that's when they came to Joe Dante. And Joe Dante, who had previously did his work on the two Gremlins films, he is a massive and a true fan of the Looney Tunes, and he really wanted to be true and such to doing, the Looney Tunes and I guess how the Looney Tunes were, or something like that. But he had a hard time with that. He was in a fight between Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers, they just flat out wanted another Space Jam. And also because I think, to this day, Joe Dante, he has refused to talk about the film. The only thing he's brought up, the only thing he said about doing that film was he directed it because, in tribute and in memory to Chuck Jones, which he was friends with. In fact, even Chuck Jones, he made a cameo in the first Gremlins films. But even another thing that Joe Dante only says about the film is that, at least it's better than Space Jam. Because Joe Dante, even Chuck Jones, Joe Dante despises Space Jam because of the Looney Tunes, personalities, etc. Even Chuck Jones, he said he didn't really like Space Jam because, in Space Jam, Chuck Jones says that, Bugs would have taken care of the aliens, instantly, and snap my fingers. And, yeah, he would have. I mean, we've seen what Bugs does, in the old shorts, etc. But in Space Jam, he doesn't really, but if he did, that would just end the movie right there, Seriously. But anyways, so with, Looney Tunes Back in Action, again, I think it's actually pretty good and decent, because with everything that's done to it, that's done with it, etc., the animation, the effects, and with the cast of actors, characters, Brendan Fraser, I think he's pretty good in it as DJ, and also, Timothy Dalton as his father is good, and What's-Her-Face, I guess, is DJ's love interest, I guess, kinda, and then you have Steve Martin as the villain. Now, I think he was pretty good as the villain. It's a nerdy kind of villain, obviously, and I even read that because, I heard that, Steve Martin would only do the film if, under one condition, that the scene in Area 52, where there are all these creatures and aliens, and one of them being Daleks. Yes, that was the one thing that Steve Martin requested, and which Warner Brothers accepted, I think I even heard that, I think they almost got in trouble or lawsuit or something of the Daleks being in there. I don't know. But I think it worked out okay, I guess, but, But anyway, so Looney Tunes Back in Action, the opening to it, it's, one of the shorts, it's in the style with the shorts with Bugs, Daffy, and Elmer, and with the duck season, what a Cleveland, and Daffy keeps getting blasted, and then it cuts to Daffy in a room, in such an office, and like, page 6, Daffy gets blasted, Brothers Warner, show people business like me, or something like that. And then apparently Daffy gets fired, let go of, and like I think even Bugs is on the side of thinking it was a bad idea, and like also like what else? So yeah, that chase between DJ and Daffy was pretty funny. Even the part with like Daffy driving a Batmobile, but he turns the ignition on and such, and the Batmobile drives into the Warner Brothers water tower, and then it also gets DJ fired as well. And then what's her face, like just like she actually gets fired by the Brothers Warner, like because you got rid of our best duck, and like even she realizes that she had not just fired Daffy but also fired the son of their biggest star, which is Timothy Dalton's character, etc. And also there's this thing, of course, the Blue Monkey, and many locations they go to, from Las Vegas to the west to Area 52 to Paris and to Africa. Yeah, so, and like, of course, in Las Vegas, the sequence of the Las Vegas sequence, it's pretty funny because like you have Yosemite Sam. He has his own place in Las Vegas, and the chase scene with Yosemite is two henchmen, and then one of the two henchmen, they've been in Looney Tunes shorts before, like I really can't remember much about the one in a red hat and blue shirt, but the one like in wearing a black vest and white shirt, like he was in that Looney Tunes short with Super Rabbit, and like rabbits, I hate rabbits, say you're a rabbit. And that chase, that car chase, that was pretty good. Like, Yosemite hijacks a race car, and I think, like, I remember at one point they crash into something like a merchandise cart or something, and Yosemite is wearing Mickey Mouse ears. I'm pretty sure, yeah, wearing Mickey Mouse ears. So yeah, and of course, Texas or the West or something, the canyons, whatever it is, however you call it, like, we of course see Wiley Coyote, and we notice this because, Steve Martin's character, like, he, from time to time, like, calls up some of the Looney Tunes bad guys from Yosemite Sam to, I think Steve Martin's villain's name is Melvin. I don't know, I can't remember. But, from Yosemite to Wiley Coyote to Marvin the Martian, even Elmer Fudd. Like, I think he did hire Elmer Fudd, I'm pretty sure, I can't remember. He also, he even has Tasmanian Devil, so, yeah, and Wiley Coyote, he tries to launch a missile at them, but then, because he purchases it, and as he launches it, it comes straight back to him. It hits him on the ground, and then as we cut back to DJ, Bugs, and the others, we see way back there, the explosion goes off, And also the Area 52 sequence, it was pretty good, all the infamous creatures and robots, and obviously Joe Dante being I guess obviously he's a fan of some of those stuff, and including some of that in his films, like with, for instance, Robbie the Robot. We see Robbie the Robot in the first Gremlins film at a convention, at a scene where, in a few parts where Billy's dad is at a convention, like a sci-fi convention or whatever it is, and you see Robbie the Robot, you see the Time Machine from the movie Time Machine. Even Steven Spielberg made a cameo there, like driving a little go-kart or something, I can't remember. But also in Area 52, Joan Cusack, if I'm saying her name right, of course people would know her as the voice of Jessie from the Toy Story franchise. Plays, as she likes to be called, Mom, Ma or Mom, I don't know. And that's where we see Marvin the Martian, of course. But also, what I love is that, yeah, Damian Drake, that's Timothy Dalton's name, yeah. Because I just remembered something, in Area 52. There's a message, there's a little message to Damian Drake, about the blue monkey. And what's his face, who we've seen in Airplane, as the captain, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Greetings, Damian Drake, if you're watching this, And remember, nobody wants to be turned into a monkey, so... He had a good voice, too. What's his face? And I love the part with, Steve Martin confronting Wiley Coyote. You've been smashed by boulders, and it's true. Everything that has been going on with Wiley Coyote is like, you're not a coyote. Be wily, Like, buck up and let's see a little smile, Now just go take a shower and don't come back till you smell better. And be careful, there's a group of men moving a cement or something, and be careful around the box of fireworks, and I suppose I should mention the open glass window. Ooh. Blah, 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 it's pretty funny. You don't see what's going on with Wiley Coyote, you just see where, you just hear what's going on, the sounds, everything, it's funny. And of course, when Marvin, is contacted by Steve Martin, obtain the cod, and kill the duck, and when I say kill him, I mean, something, I mean kill him instantly, something like that. A mission? I'm all a tingle. And even Marvin, he somehow managed to get a gun out, in his cell, or like that jar he was in, whatever. And like, as he melts it, he gets all the others out, all the creatures and robots out, wakey, wakey, friends, time to reach mayhem and the cause of evil. And the playing card, please. I'll take that, excuse me, hero coming through. And I remember there was a deleted scene, there was like an extended version of Area 52, and basically there was one part where that would be saved at the end of the film where Daffy and Marvin, they were chasing each other, being a chase scene on spaceships and through the canyons or whatever, in the desert, which something like that would be at the end of the film. So, and also the ending to the film, we'll talk more about that when we get to it. But yeah, and after they get out of Area 52, they discover, because of the playing card they have, you have to use it to, the portrait of the lady, whatever the name it is to it, but and it's in Paris, and they go to Paris, Of course, it reveals a map to Africa of the Blue Diamond. Of course, that's when Elmer Fudd comes in, and that sequence, which is pretty good, one of the few good parts, I guess, from the film, the chase between Bugs, Daffy, and Elmer through paintings, like they're one in, looks like a portrait because of that melting watch, or whatever that painting is. Of course, they go into the painting of the Screamer, Oh. I think even Elmer Fudd does a pose of that. Kind of creepy, but funny still. Even then they go into that painting that, that in Ferris Bueller they stare at. I really can't remember the name of those paintings, but, maybe I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, and if you've seen Looney Tunes Back in Action and with the paintings, but, and also, what's-her-face gets captured, and, even Pepe Le Pew makes an appearance in there as well. Damian Drake goes after her, etc. And then, also, the Three Bears make an appearance, and also, Damian Drake had the pants that he had on, it could fly or something like that. But then there was a little malfunction. They flew right off of him, and it's only revealing his polka dotted underwear or something, And then he spots Papa Bear, you, come here. I just need to borrow your pants. And he gets his pants on, etc. And even Papa Bear, he has no pants on. And I think it shows because in the Looney Tunes shorts and with the Three Bears, Papa Bear never wore pants, So, anyway, so, and then they proceed on to Africa. And of course, they come across Granny, Sylvester, and Tweety, which are Damian Drake's neighbors, actually. So, and they're in Africa, surprisingly. And then as they get to it, like, they stumble upon the blue monkey, and then, like, Granny and Sylvester, it turns out it's Steve Martin and Steve Martin's henchmen, you know? But then that's when, like, oh, you thought it was me. Well, I'm actually, you know, takes off the hat, and I can't take off the disguise with the hat. You know, I can't reach with the hat. And, like, and then it's like, yeah, Damian Drake, and, like, you know, look in your heart, DJ. You know it can't be true. And, like, no, it can't. You're right, it isn't. Zips down, then it's Michael Jordan, you know, and even, like, Daffy's like, this doesn't make any sense, you know. I guess it either does or doesn't, I don't know. And then takes the disguise off, zips down, and of course it's Steve Martin. Well, who's laughing now? Apparently no one. Anyway, give me the diamond. No, forget that, man. You're evil, you know. Oh, I'm touched, or however he said it. And that scene where they get transported back to the Acme Corporation, and it's kind of funny because as there's a bit of transporter malfunction. Like, each one of them has their body parts. Like, Bugs has Daffy's body. Daffy has Bugs' body. Steve Martin, he has the ears. Bugs' ears, of course. Even on DJ, he has Bugs' teeth. And I think, yeah. And of course, you know, oh, I hate it when this happens, you know. Fixes everybody up and, you know, just, good. So, and that's when we see, because Damian Drake, he's been tied up, everything else to it. And then, like, another great scene, I think another good moment from the film, of course, is the space sequence, you know, the big battle in space, because of, with Star Wars, Duck Dodgers, Marvin the Martian, everything else going on to it. Like, Bugs Bunny fights off Marvin first, you know, pulls out a carrot. Of course you realize this means war. It's a freaking, like, lightsaber, you know? Then, like, Daffy's like, you know, what am I gonna do? What would Damian Drake do? What would Duck Dodgers do? Wait a minute, I am Duck Dodgers. And another funny scene is, like, he puts on, like, a rocket pack or something, you know, Duck Dodgers to the rescue! Every time he says that, it blows up, you know, and then, like, you know, duck. I think making sure if it does, you know, even if he says duck, you know, aha, it's you know who to the rescue. It helps if you don't say the name, you know. And that scene with DJ and what's-her-face, they were fighting off against a robotic dog, you know? And, like, even DJ says, hey, Dad, you know how I always wanted a dog? Yeah, I just got one. It's pretty funny. And Wiley Coyote, he's on a train, literally, because the train is about to hit Damian Drake. And then, like, of course, DJ saves him. And then what the train hits is just the explosions, everything. And I forget what Wiley Coyote's sign says that he... like, just, like, I can't remember what it says, but of course, we don't see it, like, we could see in the, like, from the entrance of the tunnel, like, it explodes, like, big explosions and such going off. And of course, Marvin the Martian gets defeated, the blue monkey, I think is destroyed, yeah, because the blue monkey is transferred to the Acme satellite, and is supposed to fire directly at the planet Earth, where everybody is turned into monkeys except for Steve Martin. But of course, it really doesn't work, and it pretty much hits Steve Martin, you know, are you all monkeys yet? And, you know, uh-oh! And it hits him, and he turns into a monkey, even still has the glasses on, so, you know. And Damian Drake, checkmate, Mr. Chimp, you're going down. And the ending to the movie is kind of funny. It's just like, okay, here's another thing, like, the original ending to it, the alternate ending to it, was a battle in the jungle. Like, literally, just no space action, nothing like that, just them in the jungle. And, like, even, like, the blue monkey turns some of our characters into caveman or something like that, like, it turns Bugs into a Neanderthal rabbit, if you guys remember one of the Looney Tunes shorts with that, you know, Mad as a Mars hare. Yeah, I think that's the name of it. Marvin turns Bugs into a Neanderthal rabbit. Daffy gets turned into an egg with just his waddling feet sticking out. Then Tasmanian Devil comes in. And then also Tweety is still there, apparently. Like, it's not Taz disguised as Tweety, surprisingly. So, and DJ either, with using the blue monkey, either aims right to Steve Martin or the Tasmanian Devil. He aims and shoots directly at Tweety, and like Steve Martin's like, oh, well that broke my heart a little. Why, DJ, why? Goes down to the lava and, I've enjoyed many of your films. Now, give me the diamond, All right, go ahead and take it. Oh, by the way, do you know anything about dinosaurs or whatever he said, birds, etc., And, like, Tweety comes up and is, like, half dinosaur, And, like, you are very, very bad man. And then Tweety actually eats the Steve Martin's character and such, and, blee, 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 up, that's all, folks. He swallows him and eats him and murdering him, obviously in a cool way. But of course, the actual ending to it, like, nothing really happens, and just, like, he's fine, he just gets turned into a monkey, so. And the way that DJ and What's-Her-Face, how they interact, and, like, with Damian Drake, like, oh, Kate, that's her name, Kate, God. Kate, that's right. So, Dad, this is Kate. We haven't kissed yet or anything. We don't really get along, etc. And, like, Kate just says, this could be the one. That was in the alternate ending, while the actual ending, not really, it's a bit different, Like, I'm a huge fan of your son, and they just like, what, And the way the movie ends, like, it was just them filming movie, cut, just, like, even DJ, comes across, of course, Brendan Fraser, and is like, you're the one who got me fired, oh, yeah, and then DJ punches him, and then Bugs, he gets in his limo and such, and then Daffy, almost gets hit by a camera light or something like that on, the ceiling and such, but then he gets hit by the Looney Tunes "That's All, Folks" circle, thing, and Porky Pig trying to say "That's all, folks," but good night, Porky. The lights are turned off, and what Porky says, go home, folks. And boom, the lights turn off, the credits roll, and that song, "Shake Your Coconuts, Go, Go, Go." And then there is actually an end credit scene. I'm pretty sure it could have been it was in the Las Vegas sequence with, the cowboys in the saloon casino or whatever, Yosemite Sam's casino, like that part where the two henchmen of Yosemite Sam, they're chasing Daffy, spin around, Daffy turns on like a machine and such, and then like it's 3 cherries, and it's actually cherry bombs. Like, okay, actually they take out their hats and, like, thinking they're getting cherries, pour them in their hat, but it's actually cherry bombs, and the entire thing explodes, and they just, they go down, and that's it, the movie ends. Either that was going to be part of that sequence, or they just decided to save that for the end. I honestly don't know. I mean, if you guys do, let me know. But yeah, Looney Tunes Back to Action, I gotta say, I think it's fairly decent, it's good, even as Joe Dante says, at least it's better than Space Jam. But anyways, I mean, you guys let me know what you think of Looney Tunes Back in Action, because for me, I enjoy it. I think it's actually pretty good. And Space Jam, I still love Space Jam. I love that and Back in Action. I think both of them are good, Obviously, I think both of those films, they're mixed, obviously, so, But anyways, so with that being said, what do I give this movie? How many stars do I give it? Well, that's a bit tricky for me. I'd say maybe 7 out of 10 stars. That's still good and such. I think it's actually pretty good. So I give it 7 out of 10 stars. 7 out of 10 stars for Looney Tunes Back in Action. Again, I think it's actually pretty good / decent. And again, with that and Space Jam, I think both those movies, as I said, they're kind of mixed. So, But anyway, so again, 7 out of 10 stars for Back in Action. Hope you enjoyed this review video. More new review videos coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward. And I'll see you guys in the next video / review video. Take care. Peace out. And that's all, folks.